Arizona Trail once again. Oh, good. I'm glad the arrow says that way, because I thought maybe we had to go that way. Welcome to Theodore Roosevelt Lake here in Arizona, which for me is the start of a new section of the Arizona Trail. And I'm glad they have this little map here. Let's see, last time we were up in this area and we've hiked this section through here, and then it snowed, so we skipped all the way down to here, which is where we're at now. And this next couple of days I'll be hiking this section down to here. All right, let's get loaded up and get moving. Well, it looks like we're starting off with a little bit of a road walk here. We're walking across this bridge, and then somewhere over here, I think we're going to head back up into the hills. Beautiful views. We got a gorgeous day on tap. Gonna be a little warm, but because we did have the long drive to get up here this morning, only 11 miles are on tap for the day, but you guys know how that goes. I line up 11 miles, sometimes I walk 20. We just, this trail in particular, everything's dependent upon the water. Yeah. All right. Well, before we get too awfully far into this, let's talk about what we're doing. So, obviously, this is Arizona Trail section hiking. I'm Goat, and this is section 19, dubbed the Superstition Wilderness by the Arizona Trail Association. I am hiking this section from north to south. This section is about 29.5 miles long, and we are coupling this with section 18 because we're going south, which is I believe called Reavis Canyon, but we'll get to that later.
This is a welcome find on a nice hot day.
Ooh-wee. If you're making your way southbound, when you get to Cottonwood Creek crossing down there, stop, eat, drink, rest, because you got a straight up climb coming right out of there. It's on the forest road, but I mean, it is so steep.
Walking along this, I guess it's Cottonwood Creek. Plenty of water in it still, which is a really nice find. Yeah. We got a little reevaluating to do here. I'm going to drop the pack, eat some lunch, and then figure out what's next. Tank up on a whole bunch of water, or just get a little bit and try to push on. All right, we're leaving our little oasis here. We got a ton of water. It feels like a ton of water. So we got just over 5 liters of water. And now we're heading out. The camp we were going to try to go to is only a little less than 3 miles away. I think we're probably going to push on past that, just depending. It's been a little slow through this area. The trail kind of slips and slides, and it's easy to lose, like right now. Which way would you say? Through the crack or the faint trail to the left? I think we're going to go left. But yeah, it's just, the trail's been a challenge to keep a hold of. So just depending on how long it takes. But regardless, we have water for today to get us into camp. We have water for tonight for supper and for drinking. And then we have water for tomorrow for breakfast. And we also have water to get us down the trail a ways tomorrow morning when we start off. And these are all things you got to kind of think about when you're hitting your last water supply before that night's camp. Whew. That's all on our back. Now we're going to do this big climb. Beautiful hiking. So peaceful. Seen one hiker, a northbounder. He told me pretty much from the point we hit Reavis Creek on, no more water. So we'll see what happens. The trail always provides. And to this point, it's provided way more water than I expected. There's where we're coming from, that canyon down there. So beautiful, peaceful, and remote. So quiet. Just me and the cows. 2-bar trailhead, Superstition Wilderness. Kind of looks superstitious over there, doesn't it? That looks like the Superstition Mountains we've been exploring last week. Big views. Big views to go along with this big climb. Oh wow, what a view, what a view. Made it up and over the high point. Looking down into the valley we're about to drop into. I'll tell you what, there's some amazing views looking out this way. This is just absolutely pristine, beautiful wilderness. Yeah, that valley looks amazing. Looks like some shade and some good camping. Hopefully that's where we are headed. Look at all these little guys. Fish hook cactuses. These little guys are everywhere. Literally every few feet. You would not want to fall off the trail. Out off that other side where we're headed, huge body of water down there in the basin. Be nice to camp next to that, because as toasty as I am right now, I would likely jump right in that thing, cool off. Whew, good swim, sounds great. I'm finding my thoughts drifting back to Washington and that awesome little waterfall that I found that me and Mindy hiked to. Went swimming at that one day, or at least I tried to go swimming, man. That water was so cold. I'd love some of that right about now. Well, we are sitting here in a campsite. Just turned 4 o'clock. I'm looking at the trail map, and I'm thinking maybe I'm going to go maybe just a couple more miles. I've gone about 13 today, and I'd like to get at least a couple more in if I can, even though I did get the late start. But the further I go, the longer I got to carry my water, because I still have all those 5 liters of water. Would have been a decent spot to camp. But I think we're going to press on. 2 more miles. Let's get 2 more. Call it a nice even 15 for the day. Funny story. So, we're going to move on down the trail, right? I walked over there and picked up my bag and went to throw it on my back. I did not realize just how heavy it was. My legs, you know, pre that huge climb, I put that on my back. And then I went up that big climb and back down the other side. Now I'm down here in this little drainage in this valley. And I'm in the shade. The sun is behind the mountain behind me. It feels great here. Yeah, I went to throw that bag on my back, and it didn't get 3 feet off the ground, and I went, whoa, nah. Nope, not happening. Tomorrow morning, obviously, we won't have all that water, and we'll have less food because we're going to eat supper, and then we'll eat breakfast before we leave. So the bag is going to get lighter as we go, and that'll enable me to make better miles tomorrow. We'll see where we end up at. Looks like we've got 1 water fill up pretty much between here and the end, and that's at Reavis Creek. So we're going to see. I'm probably going to have to get another 5 liters out of it and carry it on to wherever I camp at tomorrow night. Man, this was a good day. A lot of vert up and down, and ended up with a nice shady campsite. Only got 13 miles in, but we did have a late start, and honestly, since we were targeting 11, 13's not bad. I was just checking out the map, and looks like we're going to have a pretty big day tomorrow. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it for me. I'm going to go in here and lay down, let these old muscles relax, and listen to these crickets, let them sing me to sleep tonight. We'll see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning, friends. Check out this amazing valley view. The sun is on approach for his daily appearance, and we are on the trail. The stats for today kind of go like this. We got 10 miles to the next water source, which is going to be Reavis Creek. And then we have 25 miles from that point back to the end, Picket Post Trailhead. And the reports that I got yesterday said that there is no water between the two of those. So, you know, the one school of thought I'm having is maybe I go up there and I get a camp, you know, right by the water. It'd be a really short day, but then tomorrow I'd have 25 miles. I could bank like 3 or 4 liters of water and then just 25-mile day, just cruise it out. I'm gonna just keep thinking about this throughout the day. I looked at the terrain last night. Gut Hooks is another fabulous thing on their app, is it actually allows you to look and see kind of up, down, what the terrain's gonna look like. And today just looked like a roller coaster of ups and downs. No water between here and Reavis Creek, which is about 9 miles. So we're going at least 9. Anything after that, I'll have to decide while I'm sitting there. Looking back down into the valley that we were camped in last night. Here's the big ridge, looking out the other side. Wow. Almost got the sun coming up over there. I think we might actually see it when we get to the top of this climb. It was supposed to be a roller coaster. So far it's just been up. There's been no downs yet. Did not tell you we were going to have an awesome view from up here. Look at this. Mountains upon mountains upon mountains. Layers and layers. So up here to the right, I believe that is Four Peaks Wilderness. And way out there in the middle, I don't know if you can see that blue or not, I believe that's the Salt River. Man, this is just so pretty through here. Well, we just popped over our next ridge here. This is the direction we're headed. I think I see now why it looked like a roller coaster. This has been just such a beautiful, beautiful hike this morning. This is kind of what the terrain looks like. This part of the trail is actually pretty good. It's been real rocky, loose, gravelly, easy to twist an ankle, roll an ankle on, and then combine that with the steepness, and it's been pretty slow going. And got about half a liter of water left and 5 miles to the water supply. Well, would have been nice to get some water there, but rumor has it somebody recently pulled a dead rat out of this. And a little shady spot here. Thought we'd stop for a minute and just rest. Whew, I gotta tell you what, guys. This day has been the hardest day on the trail yet, by a long ways. Harder than Grand Canyon. I don't know how many thousands of feet I've gone up and down, but man, it's not even lunchtime and my legs are just like screaming at me. I don't know where, but somewhere in here we go up and over the top of that mountain there before we get to the water. So, to conserve water and energy, I am just poking along here real slow, like just a water conserving, energy conserving, very slow walk, and just enjoying the views. These canyons are gorgeous. I cannot stress to y'all enough about the difficulty of this section of the Arizona Trail. I've read the description. For most of the time it says moderate. This one said difficult. because of all the elevation ups and downs. Cruising through the Superstitions, you're going to work for it. You want the AZT through here, you're going to earn it. What kind of critter do you know that leaves big scat piles and likes to eat lots of berries? Whew, made it. I believe this is Reavis Gap. Raven Central. Tell you what, this is a beautiful valley. Looks like I'm not the only one who is thirsty. Mama and two babies. All right, a decision has been made. The plan at this point, I think, is going to be, we're going to move up here to Reavis Ranch. You know, it's 1 o'clock right now. Normally, I wouldn't call it a day at this point in the day, but this day has been incredibly difficult. So many big ups and downs, at least 5 major climbs. I honestly just I don't think I have it in my legs to carry a bunch of water up and down 2 more passes. I would have really liked to have gotten to that trailhead that I was kind of shooting for that may or may not have water from a trail angel, but today's only going to wind up being like 11 miles, 12 miles, something like that. It's a short day, but the elevation was, oh my gosh. I think after all the ups and downs of today, the big climbs yesterday, right at the end of the day, I'm going to go into camp and get me a nice spot and probably just kick back and relax for the afternoon. Starting to find some relics. Well, you may notice a lot of things are named for him. This is the Reavis Trail, which goes along Reavis Creek. We're making our way towards Reavis Pass, coming out of Reavis Gap. So, pretty much everything out here is named for him. Okay. Over here's the slab where the house was. Nice view out the valley that way. Nice view in the valley this way. Big open meadow down there for farming or growing vegetables or whatever. Let's go see what this was. Oh, more uphill. Oh, I bet this might have been the well. Yeah. I'm betting this was the well here. Yep, look, right there's the pipe. Alright, let's go down here and see if we can find us a spot to camp. We're out here walking around, cruising around, exploring Mr. Reavis's property here. This is a beautiful remote spot. I like it. I can totally see the appeal. Huh. There's some kind of something over there. What's out there? Is that a huge campsite? Let's go check that out. We haven't set up camp yet. I figured I'm the only one here. I got my choice. Might as well walk around and get a lay of the land and then decide. Oh, look, some kind of little squash. There's another one. Little pumpkins growing out here. More over here. Yeah, some kind of elevated wood structure. Man, this is a big camp right here, isn't it? Wow. This one's got all kinds of little relics around it. Somebody picked one of the pumpkins. This right here, check that out. It's a nice little flow hole right there. So the story on Mr. Reavis was he didn't like to be around people at all. That's why he lived way out here. They said he never bathed, he never shaved. And really his only neighbors were the Native Americans that lived out here. I mean, this is a beautiful area. You can totally see why they wouldn't inhabit this area. Plus year-round flowing creek. So the story goes, Mr. Reavis was home alone. He didn't have a wife or any kids or anything here with him. He was home alone here one day, and a Native American war party came along. Now, Mr. Reavis being all by himself, he wasn't about to go down without a fight, so he fended them off in his house up there as best he could. They decided, well, we can't get him out. We'll just wait him out until he starves. He's got to come out for food or water sooner or later, so we'll just wait him out. Well, Mr. Reavis knew that the Native American tribes in this area like to employ that tactic if they could get you in that situation. So he also knew that they were deeply spiritual Native American people. And so he went on a rumor that he had heard that if the Native Americans thought you were crazy, they would leave you alone. So Mr. Reavis waits until the middle of the night, strips down buck naked, and I guess these guys were probably out here in this field, and came outside running and yelling and screaming and acting like a crazy person at him. It totally freaked him out. They hightailed it out of here and forever told stories about the crazy white devil that lived here in Reavis Canyon, which was none other than Mr. Reavis. So, I guess that's one way of defending your home. I've been guzzling water. I cannot tell you how good it is to be able to say I have unlimited water just right over this little ridge right here. 3 o'clock. Crickets are already humming. This will be my view for the evening. Sun should go down right over that ridge. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw some more deer roaming around out here in the pasture. It is a little breezy here, so I built my little camp chair. I'll be cooking right in this area here, kind of use some of the existing antiquities and a little bit of my own ingenuity and created a nice little wind block, so I got a spot to cook tonight. It's a gorgeous evening, early afternoon I should say. It's a gorgeous early afternoon here in the valley. Reavis Valley, Reavis Canyon, whatever you want to call it. Mr. Reavis's house was just right up here on top of the hill. And yeah, I think I never knew the man, but I can appreciate his desire to live out here in the wilderness. The whole bit about no baths, I had to wash off when I got here today. I just felt crusty, all the dried sweat. So yeah, other than that, me and Reavis, yeah, brother, I feel you.
Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. I tried to get some astro shots. Unfortunately the moon is super bright still. That's going to be a wrap for today. Tomorrow morning, up and at it early. 17 miles to the next water spot. 18 and a half to camp. We got this. No problem. Alright y'all. Good night.
Good morning, friends. It is a little bit later start than what we got yesterday. It's a little after 7. We are just finishing tanking up our water here. We're going to carry about 3.5 liters, I think. And hopefully that'll get us the 17 miles. Interesting night. A lot of sounds down here in this valley. Oodles of deer, but there's something else that lives in these trees and scrapes and scratches and claws all around, and I don't know, it sounded like a bunch of things. It sounded like a bear sharpening his claws. It sounded like a big old elk with a huge rack like rubbing up in these trees and whatnot. Honestly, I don't see any signs of either, and when I got up about 5 this morning and looked around, I could hear the scratchy scratching going on. And I shined right at the tree it was coming from. I couldn't see a doggone thing. Definitely wasn't a bear. Definitely wasn't an elk. I don't know what it was, but it was noisy. Made a lot of noise. Kept me up a lot of the night. I am just about loaded up and ready to go. I just wanted to finish filling these water jugs. Make sure I got plenty of the clear wet stuff to get me all the way down the road to the next water tank, 17.5 miles away. Well, I'm gonna miss being here next to this creek. Old man Reavis, he had the right idea. That way. All right, guys, we are rolling out of the Reavis Ranch area. It's beautiful. Big, flat, open meadows, lots of grass, lots of critters. Last night, right just before dark, another fella came in along the trail, and he, very kind, respectful camper. He didn't set up there in the meadow, even though he could have set up really close to me. He opted to come, I don't know, about a quarter mile, half mile down the trail here to another open meadow area. And so I just passed him as I was making my way out, and we were discussing all the noises in the night, and there was definitely plenty. And he agreed there are a ton of bear in this area. You can just tell by the scat everywhere. And he said he slept about like I did. He was up every couple hours. The noises were definitely getting the old brain going on what's out there. It's funny. It's the same thing that's out here in the daylight. That's what I always have to tell myself. That's what I tell my kids. But there's just something about hearing those noises in the dark when you can't see what the source of them is. Always sparks the imagination. So here's a whole bunch more bear scat everywhere. Pack feels great. Feels light. My food sack is getting very small, which is good, because that means the amount of weight that I have to carry is getting less. So we got this little uphill that we're working right now, which really isn't much to speak of. And then we got the big uphill, which is Montana Mountain, I guess, is the summit of that. And I guess from reading the reviews, it's supposed to be some amazing 360 views up there. So I am definitely looking forward to that. But that's 10 miles from here. And between there, we got some work to do. On our way out Reavis Canyon. I gotta tell you, as I'm hiking through here, This canyon is kind of narrow in places, real rocky, a lot of trees and brush. And I'm just like, how the heck did old man Reavis find this place? How did he know that there was water and a huge, big open flat area that's just perfect for homesteading back there? I mean, you gotta creep through this canyon, and probably back then you probably had to bushwhack your way through this canyon. Would just love to know how he got on the trail to come out here. If you are southbound, there are going to be campsites from Reavis Creek all through the meadow, pop up the canyon, all along up here on this next level. I mean, there's campsites every 100, 200 yards probably. Oodles of them. So no worries about finding a place to throw your tent. Or honestly, where I stayed 2 nights ago, and even had I come up here last night, I could have slept in my hammock. I never would have imagined that you could hike the Arizona Trail with a hammock. Reavis Pass. This is the direction we came from. That canyon back there. That's some beautiful mountains to look at out here. My next trick, the trail drops down into this valley and then climbs 1,000 foot back out. We got one more down, one more big up, and one more big down. And then we're through the roller coaster that is the Supes. Oh my gosh, these things have kicked my booty. Wishing I'd have worn the Keens, honestly. The Keen boots are much more, they work a lot better on this kind of terrain. I mean, you can kind of see what we're getting into here, and it'll be like this all the way down to the bottom out there. So Keens are great for this. I love my Ultras. They're literally too flexible for this kind of terrain. I wind up, my ankles just kill at the end of the day. Looking back, right just to the left of that hill is where the pass was that we come down. Starting the last big climb of the roller coaster that we shall forever be known as the Supes. Tell you what, guys, you want a good up and down, up and down, up and down leg workout, backpacking trip, come out here and just do section 19. Yeah, that's a good one. Kind of opened up on us again, didn't it? It's a decent climb. A couple of sections are fairly steep, but for the most part it's not been too awfully bad. I think we are approaching the end of section 19. I thought I seen a car up there. Looks like a parking lot. I'm wondering if that's not the, I think it's Rogers Trough Trailhead, which would be the end of this section. Whew. 29-mile section. I never imagined it would have taken me 2.5 days to get through it. It's just so much up, down, up, down, up, down. And the ups are crazy steep. That's what gets you. You know, I don't mind going up. I go up all day. But when it's like almost hands and feet and knees crawling up, whew, that'll take it out of a fella. Well, there it is, the southern boundary. Section 19, concluding at the Rogers Trough Trailhead. It's a good one, y'all. By far the toughest section of the AZT I've done yet. You come out here and do this one, pull your bootstraps up, get ready for a ride. It's a good one. That's gonna do it for me on section 19. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.